Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Rarely, BL series present second leads who are ideally suited or even more suited partners for the protagonist. And watching these dynamics unfold is always thrilling. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you my 7 top picks of second leads who stole my heart and sparked second lead syndrome. Please do share your own in the comments if you have any. And with that being said, let's dive right into the video. Number 1. Dan from Only Friends. There was nothing more infuriating whilst watching this series than seeing Nick continuously getting hurt by Boston. So when Dan came into the picture and it seemed as though Nick would get back to his senses and possibly move on, it was exciting. While Boston was a total red flag, Dan was a total green flag, and it was clear that he was open to being serious with Nick. You could really see the more happier side of Nick without him having to be put through undeserved pain like he was by Boston. The two were just a great match. They were so unexpected, but definitely an amazing pair, and they also had great chemistry. Amazingly, the ending for Nick and Boston was unexpected as they broke up, and this gave me hope for Nick and Dan. Hopefully, if Only Friends is part of our Sky 3, I hope to see the two reunite, but if not, this is one ship I would love in a separate series. Number 2. Vegas from KinnPorsche. While watching this series, there was nothing I hoped for more than seeing Vegas finding love, and I was glad he did in the end. However, I honestly also like the idea of him being together with Porsche. Although Vegas's intentions with Porsche were obviously malicious, I did enjoy their interactions and some of the seemingly genuine moments they had. Such as their motorbike riding scene, it's one of my most favorites. It's not something drastic, but it still warmed my heart seeing how they genuinely enjoyed each other's company. I must say that in the entire series, some of my most favorite moments were those with Vegas and Porsche together. Overall, I thought they had good chemistry and definitely looked good together, just as much as Kinn and Porsche did. Number 3. Earn from Lovesick. When it comes to love triangles in BL series, this might just be my most favorite one. Earn is one of my most favorite characters in a BL, and I just loved him and No together too. It was pretty hard already knowing the outcome, however, I was happy with his efforts throughout. Seeing how Poon wanted the best of both worlds and couldn't make up his mind was frustrating sometimes. And this had me rooting for No and Earn at times, given how he genuinely seemed interested in No alone. So it was quite sad when he had to watch things take off between No and Poon. Now watching the remake of the series, it's like reliving it once more, and the second lead this time is even more lovable. It feels way more sad than before, knowing Earn will not be one No ends up with. But as long as Earn gets a happy ending that he deserves in the end, I will be happy. Number 4. Bass from I Told Sunset About You. In the first episode of the series, we find that our male lead has a crush on his friend, which he hasn't disclosed, unbeknownst to him that he feels the same way. It was so amazing to see when Bass expressed his feelings for OA without hesitation and in front of all their classmates. I absolutely liked Bass. He was so different from Tur in the sense that Tess struggled so much to come to terms with his feelings. Bass, on the other hand, was so sure of his feelings and didn't mind small things like holding hands in public with OA, which was so different when it came to Tess. Let's not forget how he was able to let go of OA for his own happiness. He was a green flag and deserved a happy ending too. I still love Tess, and of course people deal with their sexuality acceptance differently, but I just found Bass to be amazing, too. I must add that seeing PP Crit's recent music video with KinnPorsche just brought back memories of Bass and OA even more. It was nice seeing them together once more, and I still hope that they could possibly have a series together as a couple. Number 5. Wei from Pit Babe. I might be one of the few who actually loved the idea of Babe and Wei being together. Wei was without a doubt unlikable at times, but it was so clear that his love for Babe was genuine, and I couldn't help but root for him and Babe more than Babe and Charlie. One of the reasons I liked them together more than I did Babe and Charlie is because I wasn't that invested in the main couple. Mainly because I didn't see the chemistry between the actors, so it made it difficult to be invested in their story or root for them. I found that there was more chemistry between Babe and Wei, so I just wish they could get together instead. I must add that I was so bummed when Wei died. That really killed the rest of the series for me. This is because he was one of the characters that brought the series together, and I loved seeing him in each episode. However, I'm glad we'll get to see him back in season 2. I think it's going to be chaotic, but as long as he's there, it'll be worth it. Number 6. Saint from Our Days. If it wasn't for the second lead, watching this series may have proved to be challenging for me. I believe that he completely altered the dynamics, making it significantly more engaging and captivating. Initially, I wasn't invested in the main couple's relationship or storyline, but everything changed with Saint's presence. Being a fan of off-road, anything associated with him is a must-watch for me, which kept me hooked till the end of this series. The love triangle added an exciting element to the series, and I found myself rooting for Mond and Saint to be together. The miscommunication between the main leads is another thing that made me wish for Mond to be with Saint instead. Their story really dragged on when it didn't need to, and I felt it continuously got less exciting. The only thing that kept me invested was Saint, and it would have been amazing if he and Mond got together. Number 7. One from I Saw You in My Dream. Whilst I absolutely loved the main couple in this series and thought they were perfect together, I have to admit that I loved Juan and I just as much. Every scene with Juan and I was so heartwarming, and I found them to be just as cute as you and I. This was my first time seeing JJ act, which I was highly anticipating, and I must say I was impressed. The role of Juan just suited him so well, and he easily made me love the idea of Juan and I. Whilst I wanted you and I to be together so bad, I couldn't help but also want I and Juan together. Juan definitely made things more interesting, and his short-lived scenes of him and I were some of my favorites in the series. However, I hated that his presence was what pushed the main couple to open up about their feelings. Nevertheless, he is probably my favorite second lead of the year so far. Guy from Bake Me Please is also worth mentioning. For me, he was the highlight of the entire series. He made it so much better and easier to get through. This was probably because of how great of an actor Poom is, and it was amazing seeing him have his own series following this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.